Hey guys, what's going on? It's Nathan Payne, and we got my man Dylan Rogers. What's up, Dylan?
Hey, how's it going, man?
So, guys, everybody that's watching, this is the batch call. This is where we kind of show people how to use batch to get deals. And guys, I've been getting a ton of questions right now about like solar, like liens, right? Like, what do you do if a seller has solar panels on their house and it's not paid off, right? And Dylan, have you ever experienced that? Like, bought a house from someone that had solar on it?
I actually have not.
Okay. Dude, it gets kind of crazy. Okay. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys that usually if there's a lien on a house, batch leads can tell you that, like, if there is one, right? And that usually you're able to ask sellers about that and find out, hey, I see there's a lien, like what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys where to find that in batch leads and how that maybe can help you with negotiations. Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys how to overcome a seller having a solar lien and you wanting to buy the house for cash. This house I'm working on, guys, has solar on it. It's in pre-foreclosure or it's about to get into pre-foreclosure, right? And it's just got some issues, right? It's got liens. So before you can sell a house, that stuff all has to get taken care of, right? Unless you do seller finance and you assume someone's mortgage and you're assuming their liens, right? So if you take on someone's property subject to seller finance, you would have to catch up their pre-foreclosure, like what they're behind.
Right.
The bank is going to take it. So this house is an interesting situation. So this is what happened. The seller wanted $250,000 for her house. And I said, look, I'm going to be at 180. I need to be lower. And she's like, I can't accept 180. So I said to her, I said, look, I might not be able to pay as much as you need, but I can send this to my cash buyers that can. Okay. So I'm going to send this out. I'm going to wholesale this. And if I'm going to bring you all the offers and you can accept one. So I told the seller I was going to wholesale it. So now she's messaging me and like, hey, I'm seeing someone came to me and said that you're trying to sell my house for lower than what we agreed. So she's kind of like, what's going on? So I'm going to call her and explain to her what I'm doing. So you type in the address and then the details of the property come up. You go to details and then you see under distress indicators that it says it's not an active pre-foreclosure, but that's not necessarily true because it's about to happen, right? So it's about to get triggered. And then the property liens, it says yes. So it doesn't really tell you what the lien is. In this case, it's, they have a couple, and then you have divorce, not getting divorced, no bankruptcy. So the cool thing about batch is it not only tells you the owner that we're dealing with, how long he's owned it. So when I talk to the seller, so there's two things that can happen if there's a solar. Most people will want they just want to buy it out. The other situation is leave the solar in place, and then the person that takes over the mortgage rents out the property, keeps the solar in place, keeps making the solar payments through the rental, right? Like instead of charging them a utility bill, you just have them pay the solar until it's paid off completely. So you don't have to pay $18K up front. That's what it is. But like if you sell your property to Open Door or pretty much any institutional buyer, like on these iBuyers, if you have solar, they want it paid off before they buy it. That's the thing with solar. That's how to deal with solar. So you can still do deals with solar, but they'll put a lien on your house if you don't pay it. So they're going to get paid no matter what, which is kind of frustrating. So let's call her. Let's give it a shot.
Right.
You hear that?
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, Anita. How are you?
Heading home.
How's vacation?
It was okay.
Okay. Well, hey, I hate to worry you. I feel like, you've been sending some texts, like maybe you might be concerned about some stuff. So I want to just call you and clear it up, right? Well, let me explain so I'm not a wholesaler, I wholesale. And what that means is I buy properties and I flip them. I rent them out. I have rentals, but an exit strategy when I come across people in situations like yourself, where it's like, hey, I need to sell my house quick for cash. When I make an offer to someone and it doesn't work for them, I say, look, I might not be able to pay what you need, but I have a network of people that I can run this by and see if they can get you your offer that you want. And that's all I've done this whole time is said, hey, my offer is, not going to be something you want, but I'm checking with my network. And I've grown a cash buyers list of people that buy and close and with little time with their own money or hard money. I've grown it up to like over 6,000 people. So I know everyone in Utah right now that's buying. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of people are not buying. They're nervous because of the interest rates. They don't know if they're going to buy your house, for example, and then it's going to be worth less when the feds increase the interest rate. So that's what I've been doing.
It's just that when I got the phone call or the text today, he texted me and said, Karen saw about your house and wanting to know if you're going with that or what. I'm going, well, what? So I texted back and asked, you know, what's going on with everything.
Of course.
And he said he received an email
Yes.
and I don't know if he heard it or just saw it or whatever, but
Yeah.
it was with the Utah
Yeah. So that's
house buyers or something.
so I work with them, and that's kind of what I meant is like the network that we've built, we reach out to them, right? So we say, hey guys, this is an opportunity. We're looking for the highest and best offers. And it's, you know, that's kind of what we did. So he probably just got one of our emails. He's probably on our list, and he called you and said, hey, I saw this, you know, this got sent out. Are you going to accept that? And is he saying like, maybe he can do more? Or is he saying like, oh, I can do better than that? Or?
Well, his offer was $200,000, and I declined it.
Yes, because that's not that's not what you want. That's not going to get it done.
So he wanted to know what the offer was, and I says, well, I'm not going to say what the offer is, but I am stating that I'm asking for more than what this is saying.
Yes. Well, I get it. And I don't think you need to flip-flop between us because, you know, like I said, I've ran this by everything, and I'll explain exactly what happened. So when we first signed the agreement, I sent your home out for about $235 because I wanted to try and get as much as I could for you, right? So we've had, you know, we've talked to several people, and what's going on is, you know, some people have seen the house. Some people just don't even want to make an offer because of the condition. So what's happening is I think the best cash offer that we have currently at this moment was like 205. Then someone came in at 185, and we're like, that's not going to work for her. Not even close. And I know according to what we talked about, 205 doesn't even work for you. So we're trying to negotiate with someone right now who is willing to take over the mortgage, right? Like we talked about, to assume the mortgage and get you your equity, what you're looking for up front. So it's not that, you know, we haven't been trying to get it. We're just working with what we have. And unfortunately, the market, you know, the buyers are just kind of scared right now. Cash buyers are like, hey, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen. And what we thought is originally we sent it out for a lot, didn't get a lot of interest. So then we sent it out for less, like he said, 200,000, not saying, hey, you have to buy it, everybody, or I'm going to make you do it. I just sent it out for less because I thought maybe by sending out for less, we'll get a bidding war. We'll say, okay, this is low enough where people will say, okay, I'm interested. Let me start making an offer, and then we could bid people up, right? So that was the strategy. And I'm sorry if, you know, maybe I didn't explain all this to you fully, but it's just really psychology and trying to go high and then, you know, go low and try to bid it up. Because unfortunately, people are they're trying to lowball us. And what does that mean? That means, you know, I'm going to have to come and tell you what the offers are, but I want to get you as much as I can, Anita.
Okay.
So right now we are in the negotiations with someone that can take over the mortgage, and we're just so this is what they wanted us to do. They said, hey, we can bring money down to give her equity, but we want her to pay for the solar and to catch the property up out of pre-foreclosure out of the money we give her, right? So they were talking about giving like something like $40,000 down to you to give you that much, but they're saying, but out of the $40,000 that we would give her, we need her to catch up to what's in pre-foreclosure and the solar. So that doesn't work for you because you have $12,000 in pre-foreclosure, right? And then you have the solar lien, which is 18. So that's 30,000. So if they give you 40, but you had to pay 30 out immediately, I mean, you're only getting 10, and that doesn't work for you, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. So, I mean, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and call them, see what the best they can do. I'm keeping you in the loop. I'm sorry to bother you as you're driving back, but I'll talk to you soon. I'll let you know what happens. Oof.
Oh boy.
My goodness, huh?
She doesn't understand that you're going to foreclosure and all the fees that she's going to have to take care of is going to be way more money than she would just take a loss.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, that doesn't logically make sense, right? Just to let it go, because not only that, but it's her son's home. She's helping him, right? He's going to have a foreclosure on his record, and he'll never be able to buy a house again, right? So she just needs to take as much as she can get. That's like, why would you take 0 when you can take 20, even if it doesn't pay off all your debts, right? So anyway, guys, this is what's going to be happening a lot. And I'm just showing you the conversation to have. And I'm not pressuring. I'm not saying, hey, you need to go. Yeah, so someone's saying sub 2. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure out a way to do sub 2, but there's a problem. There's too much money that she owes. So she's in a position where she's going to give to the bank and make 0, or she's going to work with me and she might be able to make 10, right? So when you work with a seller and you're going to wholesale their house, you send them a real estate purchase contract to buy their home. It's as simple as that, right? But when I tells a seller I'm going to wholesale their house, I have them sign sign the same agreement, but in the addendum, in the terms, I say, I'm going to look for a buyer for this home and you are giving me 14 days to do it. So contract purchases residence, blah, blah, blah. So it's the purchasing the property. I sent her another addendum to drop the price, but anyway, seller is giving the buyer, me, the right to market the property in order to find an end buyer to purchase the property. The seller is given the buyer until a certain date to do so and for due diligence. Taking over existing mortgage subject to is an option. Additional addendum required if creative finance is agreed upon. So it's as simple as, hey, I'm looking for somebody to get you this price. I come back, say, hey, you know, unfortunately, nobody wants to buy your house at that price. These are the offers on the table. You want to take it or leave it, because this is the best we can do.
Perfect,
cool, guys. Well, this call has been brought to you by Batch, and I know I combined the Batch and you know what I'm doing, but this is implementation. This is what people need to see. They need to see the raw, the dirty, because I can just sit there and say, call a title company, or I can do it and you guys can see it. It's the easy. It's not hard. You know, you can do it, Dylan. You could call a title company and be like, hey, I'm new to wholesaling, but I want, or you can say whatever you want. You could say, hey, I'm new, but I've done a lot of flips. I just need to, I'm trying to find a buyer.
Right.
Dude, he's hooking you up all day.
Awesome, man.
Cool. All right, man. Well, it's been great.
Thank you.
This guy right here says, breaks down the fear. Well, there's no reason to fear, brother. You can do this. Everybody can do it. Let's do it. All right, guys. Catch you later.